is my pleasure to introduce our guest today, Wondwossen Dikran. Mr. Dikran is a well-known creative in the film and television industry, recognized for his work as a director, producer, and writer. He is a graduate of Chapman University, which is ranked among the premier film schools in the country, according to U.S. News and World Report. Before his tenure at Hallmark Media, he was head of development and production at Falcon Entertainment and previously served as head of production at NBC Universal/DreamWorks TV. He also wrote and directed the award-winning feature film Journey to Lobster. We appreciate Mr. Dikran sharing his insights and experiences with our class. And lastly, I would like to ask, was my pronunciation of your name correct?
I'm sorry, I missed the last part. Can you repeat that?
Did I pronounce your name correct?
Oh yeah, you did. And thank you for the great intro. Appreciate you.
Yes, thank you. All right, and now I turn it over to our interviews.
Hi, I'm Lynn. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So we're gonna start by when you first came to California. What were some of the challenges you faced coming to school in California or your first time to the US and how old were you at the time?
Good question. So California, I think in general was very welcoming because the weather is super conducive to moving around. All year round, it's sunny, which is sort of similar to the environment that I came from originally in East Africa. But sort of getting into a new school, new set of environment, is always a little nerve-wracking. But I relied on my sort of social skills, networking skills, and I think there was one thing that brought all of the students together. There was sort of like a central through line and a common thread, which was our passion and our love for storytelling. And whether you were an actor or you came from theater, or you were a producer, you were a director, you were a writer, or a cinematographer, that sort of common goal brought everybody together. So as long as we were sort of speaking that language that sort of brought us together in this one place, and created a spirit of collaboration, and a sense of exchanging knowledge. It kind of became conducive to developing relationships, which always makes your experiences, whether it's school or work and life, much enjoyable.
Um, I'm gonna ask, who are some of your biggest influences in film?
Um, I grew up in the theater, so my earliest sort of influences coming up as a teenager and growing up into sort of adulthood was mostly theater. But I really enjoyed the cinema that was coming out of not only the US, but also just, globally. I grew up on a good diet of Hong Kong, Bollywood, the films of Osman Sembène from Senegal. But then as you started sort of getting into the age of VHS and laser discs and DVDs, like your influences start growing because now you have access to work that is coming from different places that you normally wouldn't get your hands on. But I've always been drawn to realism. The sort of Italians, I think, were probably, as far as cinema is concerned, outside of theater, the neorealism of Italian cinema, of Rossellini and De Sica, in the 40s was highly influential because it combined, real life, real locations, non-actors who were sort of plucked out from society and kind of asked to play different roles. It brought us a really strong documentary feel to whatever story was being told, and uh, the plight of, I think, the every man or every woman stories always resonated with me. So yeah, that's those are my strongest influences coming up.
What are the steps you take to direct the film?
Um, very, very tough job. Um, But if you are good at it, it could be equally, I think, rewarding for me. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I found directing to be uh, extremely consuming in the sense that you have to focus on this one singular living, breathing thing for a very extended period of time. If you're writing the script yourself, so you've spent a couple of months, maybe, even years writing, your first draft, second draft, third draft. But then you have to take that and now you have to go out and, find financing to make your film. But then you have to prep, but then you have to actually cast it, rehearse, go into production. Then after you wrap, you have to go into post-production. So as a director, like, this thing is actually living with you potentially for, if you're making a short, obviously maybe a couple of months, but nowadays with technology, it's a different language. But back then, it took me 2 years to make Journey to Lost Step, from writing it to actually releasing it out, finding a distributor, and the film finding an audience. And that process for me was something that I really did not enjoy at all, because by nature, I love multitasking. I love working on different things at the same time, which sort of like is what led me to producing eventually. And I've never made a feature since Journey to Lost. I've directed short form documentaries, music videos, and a bunch of other things. But I find the sort of process of directing to be quite laborious. Having said that, though, I think if you're super passionate about a story you want to tell, um, you have no choice but to actually have ownership of the process, because it's a singular vision. I think the director brings um, all of these sort of elements by working with the different departments, whether you're working with your photographer, a director of photography, whether you're working with your production designer, whether you're working with the editor or sound. It's a singular vision that you're sort of trying to bring to life and put out into the world, so it will require your attention all the time. So hopefully I answered your question to the best of my ability.
What skills did you find the most transferable from your schooling and other career positions to becoming a senior VP at Hallmark?
Um, this is a conversation that comes up nowadays, especially with the age of AI and tech, and how do people actually rise to positions of management and leadership in different organizations. And it can be a small business, it could be your own business, it could be sort of Fortune 500 company or conglomerate. It doesn't matter. I think the skills that you're going to need are in my opinion, stamina, meaning being in it for the long haul, that nothing is uh, going to be sort of quick. And it's a process, understanding that it's a process and there are actual steps to take to learning how to rise into leadership positions. As a producer, for example, I'll give you a little example. You probably will start out in the business as a production assistant. That means you're sort of carrying the day-to-day sort of tasks of what the office or the production office or the other people in leadership need. It can be like from prepping the day's calendar, coffee runs, whatever it takes. Then slowly you move on to coordinator positions. Now there are more responsibilities that are going to be coming to you, that you're going to be sort of handling and managing. That includes time as well, and relationships, and being able to execute small tasks incrementally or in an extended period of time. Then you become the production manager afterwards. Now you are in charge of actual teams and leading people. Then, as a unit production manager or UPM, now you're responsible for the budget and the money. And, as you sort of go up, your responsibilities grow. That means your calendar is going to be a lot more, full. There are going to be multiple number of people that are going to be coming in and out of your sort of ecosystem at any given time. That means it requires, how to communicate really well. So communication is going to be very key. How you draft your emails or how you communicate verbally, presentation of an idea or a pitch. If there are problems that rise up, how do you approach different teams to come together and work together? So now that takes leadership skills as well, and being able to sort of put yourself in their shoes as well. So now that requires empathy and observation. So all of these skills are gonna come in handy. But I think for the most part, your ability to work with people, your ability to have patience, and being able to understand that it's actually a marathon and not a sprint. Any career growth is these are the things that you're going to need. But having said that, I think now with various AI tools at your disposal and the availability of tech that is going to accelerate work processes will also require you to have some really good time management and planning skills as well.